Well, hello there. Welcome to my humble video. Today you get editing me because apparently my mic decided to not work till the end of the recording. Essentially, this is a playthrough of a mod map called The Sunken World, which is by far my favorite mod map with a great community surrounding it. It has been a blast to interact with. At this point, I've played through the map a few times already and decided to start in the tropical islands, since I've already begun on the Pacific coast quite a few times already. And spawning in a place I'm less familiar with is more fun to me. Now, while this may be just the beginning, I do have a couple of goals later down the line. One of the big things is that I want to set up outposts in all of the biomes, which might include the underwater ones if I can find a cave to set up in. I'd also like to tame all of the tameable creatures available on the map, though I kind of dread getting the Karkanos and Golem, as I've always had mixed success with those. While running around getting the basic tools and materials, I spotted something rather intimidating in the distance, an old Spinax. However, what I did not know was this one was an alpha. So I avoided it to craft some spears and get some hide. Right after that, I noticed there was some Dinopithecus, which I didn't respond to here at all, and decided to swim to another area. There was just too much dangerous creatures here. Upon arriving to the shore, I was greeted by some compies, which I promptly got to work killing so I could gather the hide needed for the base I was about to set up. Finding myself away from the imminent danger of tiny dinosaurs, I set up a small base of operations that I'm ashamed to admit exists due to its rather small nature. However, I was able to use the hide of tiny dinosaurs to make a bed, clothing, and a mortar and pestle. After setting up, my next goal was an ichthyosaurus. Unfortunately, there weren't any, but in their place were Therichthyes, which are much less useful and potentially deadly should they grab me. In wondering what to do next, I remembered that the coral dagger exists. I really love the coral dagger, honestly. It's a very useful early game tool due to it acting as a weapon, a way to get sea scales, and most important to me, an easy way to get fiber. After the coral dagger, I started making my way back to base and had a quick fight with some copies that were uncomfortably close to an Andrewsarchus. Then took the hide, killed a Pigomastax, and went to make a bow. Further exploring was soon required, and I found a parasaur that would make a perfect early game tame for berries and narcotics. I made a club and slingshot to assist in knocking it out, and after a bola, I began slingshotting the para. Unfortunately, it got away, but I managed to trap it again and knock it out with very little health remaining. Once the para got up, I hit D a number of times by accident, then named him Dilly and saddled up. It's always nice to get that first rideable tame, especially with paras with how much berries they can gather. Gathering some seaweed, I hopped into the water to admire the absolutely lovely kelp forest. I really enjoy the general aesthetic of the map, and I think that the kelp forests really exemplify how great it can look. Upon seeing the totally turtle Henotus, I beelined it to one of them to begin the very long taming process. Henotus are really useful early game tames due to them functioning as a living raft that can go underwater and burrow into the ground to produce oxygen. On top of this, they're ignored by lead Sichthyes, so getting one would allow me to leave the tropics safely. Here I made the mistake of thinking that these were normal crystals. However, they are far superior because I can pick them up without needing a metal pick, and I then had enough to make a spyglass. A long while later, my mate came on with a very important message. Esper Pepper? From this point, I'll mostly just cut to when I'm talking about an idea I have while waiting for the Henotis to get hungry again. At least this protected little inlet gives me a good chance to get one without all the stress of the kelp forest. I can probably skip an ichthyosaur, though I want it for the old tames list. The ammonite and the hippocampus that are coming out soon. I'm excited to see the first fantasy creature make its way in. I'm not counting Coral Golem, sorry. Though he is a fantasy creature. It will be very interesting. I'm very excited to see the swamps, too. Overall, I'm just really excited to see how the map progresses. All of the creatures added are honestly really well modeled, and overall just good additions. They make the ocean fun in Ark, which is not something other mods do. Well, a few. I believe that it's the Project Aquaria, or Oceania, that does it. As well, the one with the coral and the bubble guys. You know the ones. Well, you might not. But it has a bubble guy and coral structures, which increase oxygen efficiency as far as I know. A rare sight, a notice on land. Okay. Bit of a reprieve until it gets in the water again. Yeah, that'll do. Ah, so he was stuck, I bet. Just from where I placed the parasaur. Whoa. Yep. Okay. Let's get Dilly on top, at least, so that I can do proper transport. There we go. Bit annoying to transfer another creature, honestly, because of the hopping thing, but oh well. I'll manage. Oops. Should also probably get rid of that. And Henotis. Early game. Easy. Better than an ichthyosaur, and finding out the place to tame them has been really good. That's actually a valid strategy if you want to start on Sunken World, I think. Just find the little inlet, find the Henotis, and tame it. Nice. I believe I could wrap it up right there with the actually very pretty color. Notice, I know he's mostly one color, but I kind of dig the black and gray aesthetic. Oh, look at you with your wide eyes. A very small head. Yeah, I believe that's where I can end it.